Vacation rental hosts can make or break a vacation. Luckily, Vrbo makes it easy to find the ones who make it stress-free. Vrbo's Premier Hosts badge highlights vacation rental hosts with top-tier listings. The ones with excellent guest experience reviews, 0 cancellations, and strong ratings across the board. For trip planners who want to be hosted, not ghosted, choose Premier Hosts. Book today on the Vrbo app. If you know, you Vrbo.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. Listening to this podcast instead of doom scrolling? Smart move. Another smart move? Getting help from one of State Farm's 19,000 local agents when you choose to bundle home and auto. Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
This podcast is part of the Robots Radio Rocket Club, a program designed to help all podcasts reach their full potential. For information about joining the Robots Radio Rocket Club, check out robotsradio.net.
Welcome to the Final Fantasy Lorecast, where we take a deep dive into the lore of the Final Fantasy universe, such as the characters, stories, and so much more. Hosted by Ben of Temeria and Steve-O. And welcome back, Warriors of Light, to another episode of the Final Fantasy Lorecast. I'm one of your hosts, Brandon, or also known as Ben of Temeria, and always with me is my good friend, Steven.
Yo.
And today we are bringing you an episode with a guest. You might know him from our patron chats. It's our good friend, Reeku.
Whatever.
Yeah, we'll get to that about that in a bit. I love that. But today we are bringing you a character you might know if you played Final Fantasy VIII, because you mainly control him, and that is Squall Leonhart. Or, you know, what's his name in Final Kingdom Hearts?
Leon.
Yeah. So,
yeah,
you might know him as Leon as well if you're not versed in Final Fantasy.
Have you ever looked up why they did that? I've never.
I think it was when I was doing the show notes.
Oh, it's in the show notes? Okay.
It might be, it might not be. I can't remember on the top of my head. Reeku, do you know? Because I would thought you would know.
I think it has to do with the fact that he opens up more, so he kind of like rebrands himself.
Okay.
Really?
All right.
Here, I can't remember if I have it. No, it's not there.
I'm just gonna flat out Google it. I'll look for it.
Yeah, I can't remember why they changed them. You know what? Okay. Right here first, because I don't think I actually have this in the show notes. I do. I have this. I have this in the show notes, so we'll go over it later. Okay, I couldn't remember if I did or put this or not in the show notes or not. But all right, we are bringing you Squall. Reeku here is our, expert 8, Final Fantasy VIII expert here. So we invited him to shed some light more on Squall because I haven't really played 8. Steven, have you played it? Or you've tried to play it?
I tried to play it. I just bought it.
Junction. That's why.
Yeah.
Let's all be honest. So, Squall Leonhart is the main protagonist of Final Fantasy VIII, a cadet of the military academy Balamb Garden. He is perceived by others as a stoic and focused loner. Squall is later given the title Commander.
I'm going to applaud you right away for nailing Balamb Garden right off the start. That's how I've always pronounced it. I don't know if it's correct, but that's how I pronounce it.
Well, it's never voiced, so how would we know?
I threw some Southern on it, and I just always said Balam.
Balam. We are now with his appearance, so they actually he has a pretty distinct appearance, and it's like really documented on the Steam version, surprisingly, which throws me off. But he is a teenager with unruly brown hair, light blue eyes. Squall most often wears a V-neck white t-shirt with a black leather bomber jacket with a fur trim collar. He wears black leather boots, or black leather gloves, black pants, and the 3 interconnecting red belts in black boots. He wears his Griever pendant on a silver chain necklace, wears a matching ring, and sports a Griever charm on his gunblade.
Well, Final Fantasy loves their belts.
Oh, yeah.
There are multiple useless belts.
All right. The only time Squall is not wearing this particular outfit is when he is wearing his Seed uniform or Seed Cadet uniform, which he only does if required to. In flashbacks of his childhood days, he wears an orange shirt with several black horizontal stripes, teal jeans, and a gray shoes with white soles. You know, because why not as a kid? Squall's initial gunblade is the revolver, as one of which he owns a customized version with Griever engraved on both sides portrayed, with a fiery line with angelic wings in a duel with his rival Cypher Almsey. Yeah.
Listen, we brought an expert on. I'm not answering the Asian questions.
You can play Final Fantasy VIII 100 times and you still might not know how to pronounce any of these names because nobody ever pronounces them.
Well, the first name is Cypher, which is
for sure.
If you play Yu-Gi-Oh, there's Slifer, so it's similar. Both ended up giving the other diagonal mirroring scars across the face. So even though Squall's eyes are light blue in Final Fantasy VIII and Dissidia of Final Fantasy, in a select few FMVs in Final Fantasy VIII, Squall's eyes appear dark teal, and both in Final Fantasy mini art figures and Dragon Quest and Itaki Street portable artwork, he has brown eyes. So, there you go. You know, there's always going to be stuff like that throughout the games and different, like, development teams changing it here and there. Just, it happens. More so than you actually think. And then the game's North American and European manuals, Squall's height is listed as 173 centimeters or 5'8". The Japanese manual shows his height as 177 centimeter, equivalent to slightly under 5'10". This difference is due to the misconception of height conversion. 177 centimeters, Squall's original height is 69.68 inches. There are 12 inches in a foot, and if 69.68 inches is divided by 12, the result is 5.8. Leading to the false conclusion of 5'8", when in fact there are 12 inches in a foot, not 10, so 0.8 of the foot would equivalent to 9.68 inches. Math. The same error occurs with the other characters' proclaimed height as well. The game's official website for the original and Steam version lists Squall's height as 5'9", 175 centimeters. The official websites for the remastered version do not list heights.
Either way,
that was, yes, boom. It's a complete math lesson today from centimeters into inches because we are on an imperial system, which is stupid.
Yes. So he's either way, he's a short king. It's fine.
Whoa.
I don't know about short. That's average height for a male.
I was going to say, I'm 5'6", bro.
I was like, that's average height. I'm 5'3". I'm short. I'm a short king. He is average height, sir. I wish I was that tall. Anyway.
Man, I have a feeling somebody somewhere caught a world load of mess over this, and that's why there's an entire paragraph on height, because why else would there be?
Right? Yeah. Over here. Okay, Buckstrol's 5'9", apparently. So, there's that. So, now moving on to his personality and mannerisms, which this gets funny. Squall starts as an introverted and taciturn teenager who keeps his distance from those who would otherwise be considered his friends. Though withdrawn, Squall does not back away from his duties of protecting others and is often thrown into the role of leadership. Squall ensures that this is necessary for the mission's success gets done. His pragmatism and sense of responsibility lead others to trust and follow him. Even though everyone agrees that Squall has a hard time opening up, the garden staff and students alike admire him and eventually he is appointed as commander of God, I can't talk. So what happened? I did a podcast earlier today, so bear with me. Balam Garden, during the time of dismay, though at first he dislikes his role as leader, his comrades are looking to him for orders and advice. This might sound familiar from the previous entry of the series.
Yeah, reluctant, cool guy leader.
Yeah.
Mr. Cool.
Just a bit.
Yeah.
So during the game, Squall narrates his thoughts and feelings in silent voiceovers, during which he reveals he acts the way he does for fear of getting close to people due to the trauma of his past. Squall cannot remember his parents, and his sister was taken away when he was young, making him afraid of losing the feelings of comfort loved ones provide. Squall does not believe in relying on others, as friends and family are inevitably lost, and in the end, he will be alone. Huh. This also sounds kind of familiar here a little bit. Just a little bit.
Well.
Not as much, but his reasoning is more sound than Cloud's. Let's be honest.
Either way, there's a bit of amnesia going on in both.
Little amnesia and, trauma, because why not have trauma in a Final Fantasy protagonist? Yeah. So Squall comes to rethink his choices in life, and when he falls in love with Riona, Heartily?
That one I won't give you. That one's Renoa.
Renoa. Okay, it can sound, the way it's spelled, it could be pronounced different ways, sorry.
Renoa.
Renoa? Renoa, yeah. Heartily?
That's how I've always pronounced
Heartily? Okay, Renoa. Okay. And comes to accept the support and friendship of his comrades, becoming more social. The more open version of Squall is more or less how he is characterized in Kingdom Hearts series. He retains his vows of independence, but learns that being the person who thinks differently from the crowd and being completely alone are not one and the same. Yep. And then Squall's catchphrase in the English version is "whatever," which is usually uses to help uses for want of the current topic to be dropped, often following with changing the subject. In the Japanese version, Squall's trademark phrase can be taken to be well, excuse me. That's the literal translation of it. As this is the phrase that repeats most often and is what Renoa uses when mimicking his mannerisms while on the Ragnarok. It is more akin to the colloquial, the use of the phrase "my bad" in the American English, and Squall says it's more often than he says "whatever" in the English version. The French version often has him say "hum," or in the kind of thing. Expressing incredibly or hesitation, although he does use sorry on occasion. Or
these are all three very different meanings. There's
yes. Oh, whatever. Absolutely.
There's
whatever
excuse me. Is that excuse me, like excuse me, or is that excuse me?
Well, so in Japanese it is warukotakana is how it says.
Sure.
Translation is excuse me. I don't know if that's sarcastically or if that's like excuse me just to get on with the conversation. Probably that way. Excuse me just to move the conversation going rather than being sarcastic. Because the sarcastic way is how we would do it, which is not how the Japanese would use in a sentence to just keep things going along.
But also, my bad is very different than that as well. Like, which one is it? Is it my bad?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Is it sorry?
If I'm using a my bad mood on it, I'm thinking, excuse me.
Okay, so since you've played it, how does it come across when he's saying?
Oh, not the whatever is spot on. It's just a very anyway, like
Moving on.
It's dismissive. Yeah, it's very dismissive, and I don't want to be here. And this thing we're talking about, I disagree
I'm an
with,
emo
but I'm not going
kid.
to voice that.
Let's go on, move on. I have shit to do. Pretty much is what it comes to.
So it's not my bad, which is this is very confusing.
Yeah, my bad. It's more of like I interrupted you while you were talking, or I agree with your disagreeing.
Right.
Ugh.
So now diving into the story of Squall. Squall was born to Rain Laurel?
Like Dracar Noir, like the cologne. That's how I pronounce it.
Loire. All right. In the village of Winhill, but she died shortly after his birth. Her husband, Laguna, never knew Rain was pregnant with, as he was in Esther, saving his and Rain's adopted daughter, Elenon, from sorceress Adele's clutches. Both Squall and Elenon, whom Laguna had sent back to Winhill ahead of him, were sent to Edela's orphanage on the Central Continent. God, what are these names in this game?
This is not even. These are not even the most complicated that we've had to pronounce so far in the series. We've had much crazier ones.
Fair point. Boom called Sir Fratley Fartley, if y'all are reading the chat. So
I'm reading it.
Right. I'm reading this silently. Squall grew up in the orphanage, and despite his presence of the other kids his age, Elenon was his closest friend. Is that how you're saying this?
I just say alone.
Alone?
Like alone with an E.
Alone?
Alone does make pretty good.
Alone. Yeah, that kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Was the closest friend whom he referred to as Big Sis, although it's unknown whether he knew about their familial bond. Due to Alone's unique ability to send a person's consciousness back in time, she was in danger from those who want to exploit her and was moved away from the orphanage. No one told Squall why Alone left, and he assumed she had abandoned him. As a result, Squall developed a defensive mechanism that eventually made him an emotionally detached, cynical, and introverted boy who wished to go through life without dependencies. Well, I don't blame him.
Yeah, Squall is a tale as old as time. With I depended on one person, and they got torn away from me, and that's it. I'm never doing it again. That's his whole bag.
Yep.
Was he a wee lad when he got sent to?
Oh yeah. He no memories of anything before the orphanage.
Okay.
When he's at his best memory wise.
Also, since we're not going to be covering Laguna, spoiler alert for 8, do we find out what happens to him?
In what terms are you asking? Not sure what the question is.
Is he alive?
Squall or Laguna? Because
Laguna.
Both yes to both.
Really? Oh, okay. So he just dips out on his family. How rude.
It gets explained.
It's a little complicated.
As much of a cartoon character as Laguna is, he comes back in a big way towards the end of the game, and you're like, well, I didn't know he was even capable of all this.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, one day during Squall's attempts to find it alone, a dying sorceress and a teenage Squall appeared to be from the future. The sorceress passed on her sorceress powers to... how are you saying this? Edea. Edea? Kramer, the owner of the orphanage, who was a sorceress herself, had passed away. The teenage Squall told Edena he was a seed from Garden, and the notions were originally her idea. Edena told the teenage Squall he was in the wrong time, and then disappeared back into the time portal. All right, well, this story's already freaking screwing with time. Great, that's.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Y'all brought me in as help, and I don't even remember teenage Squall. I don't remember this happening in the game. It blew me for a loop when I read that part.
one of the many time travel instances. I know I'm familiar somewhat with the story, so I know there's a lot of crazy extending back and forth through time and compression, and it never made sense to me. So buckle up, Ben.
Yeah,
it's gonna get weird.
Lovely. So Idida presumed that one day the orphan child Squall would grow up to become a seed and kill an evil sorceress. Thus, Idida and her husband Sid Kramer started the Seed organization as an anti-sorceress force. As Idida is a sorceress herself, Sid and Idina decided they are no longer to stay together, and Idina went into hiding with the orphans who were not admitted to the garden or adopted. As Squall himself theorized, he was never adopted due to his already tricky personality. So sometime around the age of 5, Squall was admitted to the newly constructed Balam Garden to train as a seed. He chose to train with the Gunblade, a difficult weapon to master and takes years of training. He found a rival in Cypher who mirrored him in many ways, including the use of a gunblade and remarkable aptitude for combat.
And likability.
Done. And what?
And likability. He's not popular. Neither of them are. They both have that going for them. They're both kind of lone wolves. I mean, Cypher has his Fujin and Rajan, but other than that, nobody can stand the kid.
Fair. So 12 years later, Squall is known as a lone wolf among his peers. His superiors, such as this teacher Quiltus Trep.
Quistis, I think.
Quictus Trep. Regarded him as difficult to deal with, but respected his talents. The rivalry between him and Cypher had become common knowledge among the Balam students due to Squall's use of guardian forces. His memory had weakened, remembering only the feelings of abandonment when he felt when Alone left, but no longer remembering Alone herself. That's terrible.
There's a lot of debate there because he doesn't use a GF until after his initial meeting with Elon. So it's a whole, you can find all kinds of internet arguments about it.
Interesting. On the morning of his field exam, Squall duels Cypher, and they scar each other's faces while recuperating in the infirmary. Alone, who had come to the garden from the White Seed ship to inform Sid of Alona's disappearance, happens upon him and recognizes him, but leaves before giving Squall the chance to get a closer look at her. Quiltus accompanies him to the Fire Cavern, where he obtains a new guardian force, Ifrit, and afterward they depart for the field exam. In the Siege of Dolet, Squall is assigned to Cypher's squad, but in his disgust over being subjugated to grunt work, Cypher abandons the team and defies direct orders, leaving Squall to lead his teammates as they evacuate while escaping the X-ATM 092 robot. After returning to the Guardian, Squall graduates along with Selphie, Zell, and Nita.
A lot going on there.
Yep.
I do want to start by saying that when it talks about Cypher and Squall fighting at the beginning, my feelings of 8 are known, but that opening is pretty great.
Yeah, the ship crashing on the shore of Dalit. Yeah.
Just the Cypher and Squall fight.
Oh, you mean the fight where they scar each other? Yeah, that's a good one too.
Yeah, I love that part, and the song it rips.
I mean, they took One Winged Angel and ran with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a pretty great opening. That's all I have for that section.
So during the inauguration ball, Squall meets Renoa Hartley, who forces him to dance with her. Well, that's bold.
I mean, no, listen, I want to pause right here, and I want to say it's a cut scene, and she physically drags him onto the dance floor and makes him step on feet, and it's a prime cut scene.
That's awesome.
Is that the cut scene where he has the crazy face thing?
I'm the best looking one here. Yeah, that's that one.
So, Quiltus orders Squall to accompany her to the training center, where she reveals she has been dismissed from her position as an instructor and seeks his emotional support. But Squall rebuffs her. They run into Alone being attacked by a Grandalo as she calls him out to them. Squall and Quintius save her, but she is led away by 2 white seeds before he has a chance to explain herself, leaving Squall to wonder how she knows him.
It's so awkward that
it's a giant freaking bee.
Yeah,
it's a giant wasp.
I think it's 2 of them when you actually get in the encounter.
She is his teacher, and she's like, I need you to support me right now
emotional
emotionally.
support.
Well, so two things.
They're
the same age.
That's what I thought.
Well, maybe she's a year older, but they're pretty close. And also, she says, "I always thought I was in love with you, but it turns out that I was just remembering the orphanage where we all grew up at." Spoiler alert.
She grew up there too?
Oh man, that's a whole scene where Irvin is like, "Well, I haven't used the GFs as much as y'all, so I thought maybe y'all had just forgotten." And Selphie and Quistis and Zell are all like, "Whoa, we're orphanage buddies. That's just crazy."
I knew a bunch of them where I didn't know she also was. That's
Cypher, Squall, well, everybody but Renoa, pretty much.
Yeah.
Huh. So Squall, Selphie, and Zell are assigned a mission in Timber. And during the train ride, the trio fall asleep and dreams of adventures of Lugana Loire, and his friends from the past. Squall learns Renoa is his first employer, and they are in the assist the Force Owls, freedom fighters devoted to freeing Timber from Gobadian control. Sure. Squall and his friends' first mission with the Force Owls fails when an attempt to kidnap the Gobadian president Venzer Dealing. They end up capturing a body double posing as him instead.
Oh, the old switcheroo. Got him.
So to please with the Owls' level of professionalism, Squall asks to see the team's employment and seed group is under and discovers they are under the Timber Owls until Timber gains independence. Far from satisfied, the group nonetheless follows with the Force Owls' plan to intercept the president's Timber-based television broadcast, where Noah lets slip her reviews of the ways of the seed alive, and Squall remarks about her group's incompetence in return. After the two exchange words, Renoa abandons the plan and leaves.
So Renoa... go ahead.
Well, no. I was just going to say, specifically the relationship between them professionally is Renoa pretty much hands him a contract from Sid behind her back as if mom was giving her kid the homework that he needs to do. And Squall reads it and it says, "Until the liberation of their city is complete." And all Selphie, Zell, and Squall all look at each other and they say, "That's incredibly vague. That doesn't say," so we're just like, we're with them until their city is liberated. And meanwhile, Renoa and Zone and Biggs, I believe, they're crouched in a corner, like doing rocks and sticks formations on the floor, planning the plan. It's just, it's a hilarious thing.
Oh God.
Just a reminder, they are child soldiers. So.
Yes. So Cypher with Quintius in hot pursuit takes the president hostage over the air. Under Quintius' request, Squall, Zell, and Selphie rush into the studio to find Cypher backing away with the president into another room. The president's new ally, whom he was meant to announce on live TV, a sorceress, spirits Cypher away. Dun dun dun. With the Force Owls base destroyed, Squall and the others lie low for a while. Complimenting Cypher's fate leads Squall and Renoa into an argument over their views on life before they are given the word. It is clear to leave town, as returning to Balam Garden is made impossible due to the train services having halted, and they head to the nearest garden, Gombadia Garden. Taking Renoa with them on their way, Renoa and Squall argue over the cold attitude towards his teammates when he falls to support Zell, who despairs over the Balam Garden safety instead of Cypher's attack on the president. During the argument, Squall passes out, experiencing another mysterious dream with Lugana. When he awakens, Renoa apologizes. God dang.
There's a lot there.
Teenage crap.
Give us a quick breakdown of what the hell just happened there.
So Renoa is basically trying to shake Squall loose of this I don't want to talk to people mood, because Zell's having a panic attack that his home school garden is probably going to be under attack because Zell accidentally let it slip on live TV that they were from Balam Garden. So he feels responsible. And Squall's just like, kind of pissed that people are talking about Cypher like he's already dead, and he just kind of turns inward on those thoughts, and he's like, I wouldn't want people talking about me like this if I was scheduled for execution. And During this argument, Elon from across the world sends them back in time to relive some of Laguna's memories, because the whole time she's trying to change the past, but she forgot to tell them that that was her mission. So they just keep popping up in Laguna and his friends' bodies, not knowing what's going on. And even for just a smidge of the memories, Laguna and his friends can hear their thoughts in their heads. So they're like, well, the fairies are here. It must be the fairies. So fighting's going to be real interesting. It's so colluded, so messy.
I'm glad you would say it. Yeah, this is...
So in Galbadia Garden, the group learns of Cypher's supposed execution, and Renoa reveals her past with them, but hesitates to call him her ex-boyfriend. The team receives new orders to assassinate the sorceress during her inauguration ceremony as the ambassador of Galbadia. A Galbadian student, Irvine Kinias, is assigned to help him. With Squall as their leader, the group makes their way to Dealing City to meet with their contract, General Caraway, in a run amid a father-daughter feud between Caraway and Renoa. Oh God, more family drama, more drama. This is all drama. Oh my God, teenage drama, family drama,
and it's
time drama.
The teenager-based game. They're all, you just have to keep remembering that they're all kids, basically.
Like, pretty much.
It's like Degrassi if it was a Final Fantasy.
It's a high school anime for sure. There's a lot of debate on this topic about Caraway actually being Renoa's father too, because some people think that on Laguna's date with Renoa's mom, that's when she was conceived. So that's why there's a lot of Renoa and Squall being sibling talk that happens on the internet.
Ew.
Yeah, I doubt that's a thing.
Yeah.
I doubt. No. I'm talking about like development wise story. That I doubt that's.
I
what
refuse to believe it. Also,
that they would not do that in an international game.
George Lucas did not write this story. I don't think.
Another Star Wars crossover.
Oh God! So as the ceremony begins, Sorceress Edna kills the president and claims Galbadia as her own, and Squall discovers a renegade Cypher. Rather than being executed, he has become Edna's Sorceress Knight after Squall and Irvine save Renoa from a pair of Iguanians. Irvine chokes when he is signaled to shoot Edna. Squall reasons with him, and Irvine fires, but she deflects the bullet. Squall faces Cypher and Edna head on, but after Squall defeats Cypher, Edna pierces Squall's right shoulder with an ice javelin, rendering him unconscious, and the teams are arrested.
So 2 things I want to say right here. The first one being that this is the moment that I always reference when I defend Squall, because he's a teenager and his job is to on foot assault a sorceress who's known for controlling and killing people, and he does it without blinking an eye. He tells Irvine, the shot doesn't matter. You miss it, you hit it, it doesn't matter. Just look at it as a signal for me to go. And Irvine calms down and he's like, you're right, it's just a signal, and he pulls the trigger. The other thing I want to say is a lot of people say that in the game, Squall dies right here, and that the rest of the game is hallucinations. It's like a Walking Dead, Rick was never out of the coma thing. Yeah,
I doubt that. So after another Laguna dream, Squall wakes up to find himself in prison. He's tortured by Cypher in the D District prison, and during the interrogation, Squall learns Edna has ordered a missile strike against both Balam and Trabia Guardians. The group escape and split into 2. The team led by Squall heads to the warned Balam Garden of the missile strike, and the other, led by Selphie, aims to sabotage the missile base to stop the launch. Makes sense.
Getting wild. There's missiles. There's moving
right?
Gardens. Things are getting crazy.
We haven't moved the garden yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. They haven't moved yet. But
so as Squall arrives to find the garden in chaos as a faction with allegiance to Garden Master Norg, Balloon Garden's financier has staged a revolt against Headmaster Sid. Squall searches for the headmaster to warn him of the missiles, finding him bunkered in his office. Sid reveals the garden's past status as a mobile bunker of Sintra made, and upon activating the ancient system, the garden transforms into a mobile fortress and avoids destruction by moving away from the spot the missile was programmed to target.
Now we're moving.
Squall's team is called into the basement level where they meet Norg himself. Norg wants to give up on these associated with the assassination attempt to Edna and quell her wrath and save the garden, but Squall and his friends defeat him. During the confrontation, Norg reveals Sorcerer Edna and Headmaster Sid are married. Squall talks with Sid, who admits that this is the truth and explains the seed's real purpose was to always fight a sorceress.
Hang on. A lot of questions here. This is why we brought you, Reeku.
I'm ready.
First of all, way back, I didn't get a chance to ask you, when did this orphanage lady become like a super powerful, like she's leading stuff?
So the reason she runs an orphanage is because she's aware of her power and she's afraid that it's going to get used. And also, slight spoiler, the sorceress Edea is not the sorceress Edea.
Right, it's whoever the big...
Ultimisha from the future, right. So the orphanage Edea is actually like the matron of the orphanage kids. They actually call her Matron Edea. And then you have this lady here who they're trying to assassinate and who's killing presidents on live TV, who's just being controlled from the future.
I see. And so Sid knows this and is trying to stop her.
The man gives the order to kill his wife. Yes.
Wild. Okay.
Dedication. The Seaborn Garden has left adrift in the ocean currents and is met with the White Seed ship, whose crew requests they hand Alon, who is still hiding in the garden, over to their protection. Squall remembers a young Alon from one of his dreams and finds that she is the same girl he met in the infirmary and whom he saved from a Granado. Alon reveals she has been sending Squall's consciousness back in time to inhabit Laguna. Although she doesn't tell him why, Alon departs with this White Seed, leaving a confused Squall behind. Because... yes, plot, apparently. I don't know.
Because why? Why not tell the plan?
Right.
Now, if I remember correctly, this is a very, very short meeting between the two, and she kind of just says, I have a reason. I can't explain it right now. I'm sorry, I gotta go. So it's not like she's standing there for an hour just saying, no, I'm not gonna tell you. I think it's just a very rushed interaction.
Okay.
Yeah. Not important. There's
when the garden crashes into Fisherman's Horizon due to a broken steering device, Squall and his group enact a formal apology. Mayor Dobie, the leader of the pacifist city, asks them to leave as their presence can only cause destruction. Galbadia invades the town, and Dobie heads off to discuss peacefully with the soldiers. They do not listen, and Squall fights the soldiers to save Dobie's life. Dobby. Could be Dobby. Being reunited with the missile-based team, of which they had no word until then. In a rare display, Squall is happy they are alive and well, something Renoa does not fail to notice. Dobie grudgingly accepts the team's apology and orders the city's technicians to restore Balam Garden to full functionality. Oh, I bet Renoa doesn't. She sees that smile and is like, whoa!
Finally.
Very called out. Very called out.
That's great.
I'm pretty sure it's what are you worried about your friends? And whatever that happens.
So Sid presents his resignation, appointing Squall as the garden's commander, a decision Squall is not all pleased with. No one would be. To show him this report, Sophie and Irvine organize a concert in Squall's honor, and Renoa has an eventful chat with him, encouraging him to trust in them as they believe in him. After the garden is fixed, Squall sets course to the town of Balam, only to discover the G Army occupies it. Squall and his team free the town from defeating Fujin and Rajan, Cypher's friends, who are now work for him.
Well, you nailed those two.
Yeah, I did. They head to the destroyed Trabia Garden, Selphie's home garden, where Irvine tells everyone about their past together in the orphanage, where they all forgotten, except for Irvine, of course, due to the side effects attributed to junctioning guardian forces, memory loss. Remembering their childhood, the team recognizes Sorceress Edia as their matron, the woman they used to care for them in the orphanage, and decide to defeat her in spite of the past. The guardian embarks to the old orphanage in search of clues.
Where have we heard this before?
Right? Balom Garden is intercepted by the similarly mobile Galbadia Garden, and the Battle of the Gardens ensue. Squall leads Balom's defense, at one point driving a heartfelt speech to Balom's seeds and cadets, encouraging them to fight on. Squall and his team,
save the hot dogs.
And to save the hot dogs. Squall and his team infiltrate Galbadia Garden to fight Cypher and Edia. After recognizing Squall as the legendary seed, Edia decide that it is time to exterminate him. Squall and his team manage to defeat Cypher and Edia, but Renoa becomes comatose. Turns out Edia had been possessed by a sorceress from the future, Ultimacia, the whole time, and did not act on her own free will. Ultimacia's goal is time compression to make herself a godlike being, but she needs to find Alan to perform the spell, unless took over Edela to conquer Galbadia and use the workforce to find her. The seed's defeat over Edia snapped her out of her possession, and she diverts all she knows of Ultimacia to help them.
Oh boy.
Wow.
Reeku, you want to give us a quick rundown of the time compression and making her a godlike being?
Sure. So,
well, isn't this like she essentially tries to put herself in all points of time to where she is without all of time?
There's only one time. She's compressing time.
You've got it, but it's almost the exact reverse. She's trying to put all of time on one flat piece of paper. That way she can exist in it.
Got it. I'm thinking the opposite way from the Flash.
Right.
Because if anybody watches Flash Season 3, Savitar tries to do this exact same thing, but in multiple layers rather than one layer.
Correct.
So, for everybody who is a DC fan and like the CW shows. But let's take a quick mid-break, because this is apparently going to be a longer episode than I thought it was going to be. And thank our patrons, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome to the middle of the show. We're talking about everything with the podcast that has nothing to do with the lore of Final Fantasy. Here, we want to thank all of our amazing patrons. Thank you guys so much for supporting the show. And if you too want to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/Final Fantasy Lorecast, where you can get ad-free episodes or even join us once a month on the show itself. You can also find us on. You can also support us on Apple and Spotify. Leave a 5-star review on Apple with some words or a nice Spotify comment. We'll read out loud the next time on the show, which we do have one this week from our Freya episode from Summer of Heroes. I always get excited when I receive a message about a new episode on my phone. Can you guys do a Noctis episode from Final Fantasy 15?
Absolutely, we can.
And there you have it. Apparently, we will. And then you can also find us on a few different Discord servers: the Robots Radio Discord at robotsradio.net, as well as my own Discord server, the Ben and Friends Podcasting Discord, where you can find this show and all the other shows that I host, which are Holocron History, Star Wars Canon vs. Legends, the Gundam Lorecast, the Wizarding World Lorecast, and the Witcher Lorecast. I lost my train of thought right there. That's what happens when you do 4 other podcasts on top of this one. No. And then you can also find us live on my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Ben of Temeria every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, where you can check us out live and be in our Twitch chat, just like all the other amazing people we have in our chat today. Boom, Boss Girl, Tay-Tay. Thank you guys for being in here. It makes the show so much better. And then, I don't think I have anything else to add. Do you have anything, Steven?
No,
cool.
Not this week.
Well, with that being said, let's get back into more Squall so we can go through this episode.
This summer, say I do.
I am marrying a stranger.
Like never before.
Am I crazy?
It's a whole new Married at First Sight on Peacock.
Thank God I woke up in love.
With new experts.
My name is Dr. Lisa.
My name is Paul Brunson.
More couples.
This could be the start of a very successful marriage.
And more surprises.
Or maybe not.
Everything is just not enough.
You're a little bit crazy.
I don't know what's gonna happen. I want my fairy tale ending.
Married at First Sight, now streaming. New episodes Thursdays, only on Peacock.
Chronic migraine is 15 or more headache days a month, each lasting 4 hours or more.
Botox, onabotulinum toxin A, prevents headaches in adults with chronic migraine before they start. It's not for those with 14 or fewer headache days a month. It prevents on average 8 to 9 headache days a month versus 6 to 7 for placebo.
Prescription Botox is injected by your doctor. Effects of Botox may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be signs of a life-threatening condition. Patients with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Side effects may include allergic reactions, neck and injection site pain, fatigue, and headache. Allergic reactions can include rash, welts, asthma symptoms, and dizziness. Don't receive Botox if there's a skin infection. Tell your doctor your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions, including ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, myasthenia gravis, or Lambert-Eaton syndrome, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects.
Why wait? Ask your doctor, visit BotoxChronicMigraine.com, or call 1-800-44-BOTOX to learn more.
And we're back, and Box Girl's trying to trap me. It's not going to work. As much as I would like to say that right now.
I will say before we get started on this second half, this is an entire note, and there's a lot that's going to be going on in the second half. I really think this might be a two-parter, Ben.
Really?
There's going to be a lot to talk about in this second half.
I mean, we're almost done.
No, because I want to let Reeku cook, because there's a whole lot that happens at the end, and I want him to have
if it has to be a longer episode, so be it. It's fine.
Okay.
Hey, when do you hear an hour and a half episode from us? Hardly ever.
Never.
So it's a fun treat when we have guests on the show.
Okay. All right.
I'm not going anywhere. As long as y'all have me on this one. Oh yeah.
Don't speak, Reed.
So, realizing he is in love with Riona, Squall searches for Alona to have her send him back in time to prevent Riona from becoming comatose. After learning from the White Seed, she has gone to Esthar. Squall decides to abandon the garden and take Rinoa to Ethar in secret. While crossing the Horizon Bridge, Squall opens up to the unresponsive Rinoa on his deepest fears. When reaching the seaside station on the other side, his party and Edna catch up with him, admonishing him for leaving them behind. The party makes its way to the mysterious nation of Esthar and has no contact with the outside world for 17 years.
You know what would be incredible is if while she was unresponsive, she was actually pretending the whole time. So
oh my God, that would be fantastic. Secret,
she opens her eyes and goes, "Gotcha!"
Yeah, she wouldn't let him live it down either. If that was going down.
And thank you, Tay-Tay, for subscribing to my channel. I appreciate it. So, after learning Alona has gone to the lunar base, Squall and Rinoa are sent to the Astarian space station. Squall reunites with Alone, who's happy to learn he has recovered his childhood memories. He begs her to send him back in time to save Rinoa, but Alone tells Squall she has learned it's impossible to change the past using her ability, as her numerous attempts with Squall and his friends resulted in naught but reliving the past. So she can send people back in time, but she can't change the events of time. Like time is cemented. She can't physically change it.
Yeah, they're not in control. It's more of a view.
Yeah, which typically mostly happens with time travel crap. So she still promises to try, but Squall takes Alone to the medical room. Ultimacia possesses Renoa and uses her as a free sorceress Adele from her spacebound tomb, where she kept to prevent her from passing on her sorcerer's power to leave Renoa to die in space. The station is evacuated as the lunar city begins, and within the escape pod, Squall asks Alone to try again. Alone sends Squall to Renoa's consciousness, where she tells her to activate the extra oxygen supply in her spacesuit. God. Ignoring everyone's warning, Squall jumps into space to catch her. Because that's smart.
Lunar Cry, Final Fantasy IV fans.
Lunar Cry. This is where all the monsters come from.
Yeah. Squall and a cured Renoa come across a derelict spaceship, Ragnarok, which they used to return to the planet. Squall learns Renoa has inherited Edna's sorcerer's power and became a sorceress, and the land base informs them Renoa is to be seized upon returning to Ethar.
We did kind of skip over like the biggest part of the game where Squall jumps out into space. That's like the big him finally opening up, right? Like this is his moment.
And there may or may not be a scene where while Renoa's on the brink of death floating in space, his ring floats up inside her spacesuit. It makes everybody cry every time they're watching it because she finds the will to keep fighting, and then he catches her, but she can't see him because he's behind her, and he catches her and they float off onto the spaceship. And
boom, don't you even dare. You're trying to trap me to say it. So, Squall lets Ethar take Renoa into custody, but after being talked to reason by his friends, he breaks into the Sorceress Memorial and frees her. The team heads back to Edna's house. Renoa is pessimistic about the future, but Squall silently vows to be her knight even if the world is her enemy. Squall and Renoa promise to meet at the field behind the house in case they should be parted.
This is the scene from the opening. Yeah, that it's like, I'll find you. How are you going to do that? I'll find you anywhere. It's like the quotes that float across the screen in the opening.
They were called to Ethar to find Laguna and Ethar's president. That Alone has been taken captive inside the Estarian weapon Lunatic Pandora by the G Army and now controls it. Laguna and the Estarian scientist Dr. Odin have concocted a plan to stop Ultimacia once and for all. Laguna follows Squall and his friends to the mission, and within the Ragnarok, Laguna's friends talk about Squall's parents and Laguna, who have learned that the whole story from Malone as the reason they had been gone to the lunar base was to meet with him, tells Squall they have a lot to talk about later.
So, two things here. Odin is Hojo, but not insane. He's just very scientific, knows all the techie stuff. He's kind of the man. What was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, Steve, I don't know if you caught that. Esthar's president, Laguna Noir.
Yeah.
So that's where he pops back up. Yeah.
So he becomes the president, and then is he aware those are his kids, or?
He learns in this scene right here that we just were discussing, I believe, where they were on the Ragnarok flying around discussing, like, wait, and I know. Okay, Squall, we've got a lot to talk about later.
Okay.
Long lost son. They invaded the Lunatic Pandora and to save Alone after Fujin and Rajan and successfully tried to convince Cypher to stop serving Ultimacia. Squall and his friends fight through Cypher, and shortly after, Adele, whose tomb has been swept up by the Lunar City and fallen into the Lunatic Pandora. With no other body to possess, Ultimacia takes over Renoa, which gives Alone the opportunity to send Ultimacia's mind further back in time. Ultimacia begins the time compression, allowing Squall and his friends to travel to the future and confronts her.
Oh boy. Now we're in the future.
God,
and the past.
It's all over the place. In the final battle that traverses time and space, Ultimacia meets her demise. Time compression halts at Ultimacia's defeat, and time begins to revert itself to its original form. Dying Ultimacia and Squall go back in time to appear at Edna's orphanage, where Squall meets Edna and implants the ideas of seed and garden. After Ultimacia passes on her sorcerer's power to Edna, Squall falls back into the compressed time and tries to find a way back to the field where he and Renoa promised to meet, but is trapped in a void. Renoa uses her sorcerer's powers to find him and brings him back home. Oh boy. Gosh, that's a lot.
It's a lot.
It is a lot. And then during a party at Balam Garden to celebrate Seed's victory over Ultimacia, Squall and Renoa stay outside at a balcony overlooking the ocean. Under a shooting star, Squall smiles at Renoa and kisses her as the garden flies under the moonlight. And boom! Happy ending.
The end, yeah.
That's great.
Very, very happy ending for a Final Fantasy game. You usually don't get that.
Not much. Not often. But moving on, he does appear in other games, and I mean a lot of games. So in the City of Final Fantasy, Squall's outfit shows off more of his torso while adding angelic feathers to his waist. Dissidia mirrors Squall's evolution from a loner to a man he is in the ending of Final Fantasy VIII. He fights alone, but finds himself worrying about his fellow heroes, Bart and Zidane, and accompanies them and helps them on their quest once he has completed his own. In Dissidia NT, Squall accompanies Lightning and the other Gunblade wielder of the series.
This was one thing I did like about the Dissidia play through, was that you got to see the heroes from each game kind of interact with each other.
Yeah, well, it's cool. If anybody's ever got to play Dissidia, I would recommend. The only one you will be able to play nowadays is Dissidia NT, but it's still fun. It's still really cool to see the interactions with all the characters up to 15.
What was it on?
PS4.
The initial is the words I tried to mix up there, was on PSP. Was where I.
Oh yeah, it was originally PSP, and then they ported it over to PS4.
So it should still be available.
Yeah, you can still play it. You can play NT. Just not any of the ones previously before that, because NT is the 13th Dissidia game or something stupid like that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's a fighting game. It's their version. It's Final Fantasy Capcom fighting.
Oh,
that's essentially what it is. But in Dissidia NT is specifically more of an open arena fighter. Okay. Compared to the your typical 2D animation kind of Mortal Kombat / Street Fighter style.
Gotcha.
Which I think that's a lot of the older ones were that style. I think. I haven't played in the older Dissidias, so I could be completely wrong there. So, in Kingdom Hearts series, Squall goes by the name of Leon and is an adult with longer unruly hair. In the first Kingdom Hearts, he wears a black short-sleeved leather jacket with a red Griever emblem in the series, or in the sides of his sleeves, and gains a black side belt and wears a black Magnum combat shoes. He gains 3 red belts to his arms to match up with his black gloves. This appearance becomes another one of his alternate costumes in Dissidia 12 Final Fantasy, and his second alternative costume in Dissidia Final Fantasy NT. In Kingdom Hearts 2, Squall remains his hairstyle and bomber jacket from Final Fantasy VIII, but his color scheme is navy instead of black, and he retains the red Griever emblems. In Kingdom Hearts 3, he looks like he does in in Final Fantasy VIII, though the 3 belts are now switched to the left side.
Of course.
And Kingdom Hearts 3 doesn't really show much of the Final Fantasy characters. Going to blatantly say that out now, which is why I think it wasn't that great of a game as Kingdom Hearts 2 and 1, because the Final Fantasy characters were the central point of the story. And Kingdom Hearts 3 kind of threw that out the water and oh yeah, they're not in this game. It's well, they're kind of important to the series.
Well, they made room for all the Pixar characters.
Pretty much. That's pretty much what they did. And then in Chocobo Racing, his hair and eyes were made darker And his interconnecting red belts and the 3 black belts on the right side of his main outfit are brown. The color of his belts will later be adopted in his Dissidia appearance. He drives the iconic topless muscle car called Tempest. In Dissidia Final Fantasy, Squall looks much like he did in Final Fantasy VIII, but is given additional fur ruffles on his jeans, a sash partially covering his right leg, and a lion-headed belt buckle, as well as a new shirt with a plunging V-neck collar. His jacket is now slightly more fitted with the Griever necklace that has a different design in the ending FMB.
Just real quick while I'm thinking about it, part of the Ultimecia fight is that she manifests Griever as her own guardian force, and you have to fight it. So
that's the lion thing, right? That's
It's like it looks like Kamari, honestly, with like some red touches to him.
All right. And then Squall has appeared in the following games throughout the Final Fantasy series. So Final Fantasy VI as a loading screen cameo.
How is that possible?
Yeah, that's what I'm curious about.
The re-release got to be.
Time travel?
It's part of the Final Fantasy anthology.
Oh, I see.
It's part of the anthology. I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. Final Fantasy VIII technical demo as a cameo. The Pocket Station memory card icons. The Final Fantasy XIV as a triple triad card and costume. There you go, boom. I said it. Dissidia Final Fantasy is a playable character. Dissidia 12 Final Fantasy is a playable character. Dissidia Final Fantasy NT. Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnium. Theorhythm Final Fantasy, which is a rhythm-based game. Picologica Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy Airborne Brigade. Final Fantasy Art Inks, Final Fantasy All the Bravest, Final Fantasy Record Keeper, Final Fantasy Explorers, Final Fantasy Worldwide Words, Final Fantasy Brave Exodus, which is not a playable game anymore, mind you. It actually shut down back in October. Mobius Final Fantasy, World of Final Fantasy, Chocobo Racing, the Final Fantasy Trading Card Game, and Triple Triad.
Good Lord.
He's in a lot. He's in a lot.
There's a lot.
Yes, I said it. Boom, I said it. Yes, he was in. You get his costume in 14 as a veteran reward for subscribing over a certain period of time. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
if I recall, it's the last veteran reward. Let me see. Let me just double check that. I can't remember what version. So the first veteran reward you get the Advent Children Cloud outfit. Rank 2 is the Zodane's outfit.
Right, got that one.
Rank 3 is the Wild Rose. Yeah. And then rank 4 is Squall's, which is
so it's coming up.
330 subscription days. So you need almost to be a year. 11 months. So, yep.
And then Tay-Tay's got a point. We're going to get that Magic the Gathering Squall card, too.
Yes, we are. We are going to be getting that because, trust me, I'm going to be buying all the Final Fantasy MTG cards. And I am a TCG expanded store for where I work, so I am definitely getting all that stuff. And fun fact, I'm going to be officially eating a lot of tournaments now in my store specifically, which is cool. So we do have some behind the scenes. So we do have some development stuff. So Squall was the first character Tetsuya Nomura designed specifically for Final Fantasy VIII. Initially, Squall was given longer hair and an elegant appearance, but director Yoshinori Kitase felt the design did not work, asking Nomura to shorten his hair and make him more tough. Aspect of Nomura's first design to be seen in Squall's Kingdom Hearts appearance. So they took his concept and put that in Kingdom Hearts.
Okay.
Nomura does not remember why he created the scar across Squall's face, saying it was just a spur of the moment, like Cloudstripe's distinguishable hair. He wanted something to set Squall apart to make him recognizable. The scar was there before establishing the character's history, and Nomura left it in a scenario writer Katsusuji Nojima Writer Nojima. I don't know how. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce your name. To work on how to attain it, leading to the duel between Squall and Cypher in the game's intro. Squall's design was completed with the fur ruff along the collar of his jacket, included by Nomura, to challenge the game's FMV designers. In an interview with the Square Media Tour in 2000, Nomura admitted to basing a lot of Squall's appearance on the late actor River Phoenix.
Interesting.
That is interesting. Final Fantasy VIII is a unique in the series, as the player is able to hear the main character's thoughts displayed in the transparent text boxes. This idea came about because the scenario writer, Nojima, wanted to give players insight on what Squall is thinking, a contrast with handling of the Final Fantasy VII, which encouraged the player to be skeptical.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you gotta know what he's thinking, since all he ever says is whatever.
Right.
Know what's actually going on up there.
Squall's Gunblade was also designed by Nomura, who was into silver accessories at the time and wanted Squall to have a silver weapon. Nomura wanted some of the new way to player to control the weapon in battle, and with both ideas combined, came up with the Gunblade. Nomura says it was a rather odd appearance in retrospect, and then became one of the best weapons in the series.
Really is. That was the weapon I was talking about the other day, Reeku, that I got in 14. I got the Lionheart.
Being a Gunblade in 14. Gunbreaker, yeah, is amazing because it's a DPS and a tank in one class.
Yeah.
It's Steven's favorite job.
It's the only way to tank.
It's the only way to tank. Or Dark Knight. I use Dark Knight. But asked when about one thing director Yoshinori Kitsatsu would change about Final Fantasy VIII, he mentioned that the FH concert, where Renoa mocks Squall by mimicking his mannerisms, and he raises his hand at her and she dodges, even at the time, Norma said, like, he shouldn't be hitting her. It's really not a good to have a guy hitting a girl. Looking back, I wish we could change that.
Now, I want to shed some light on this because in the moment when you're perceiving the scene, she rolls back out of the way, and there's even like it's like a backward swat. It's not even like he punches at her. It's just more like would you cut it out kind of motion. So right. I do understand where the regret's coming from, but it's not how some people would see it.
Box girl, why? And then there is a dummied piece of dialogue in the scene where Squall and Renoa are on board Ragnarok, where Renoa tries to dissuade a fit of assumed jealousy in Squall for her having dated Cypher in the past, when Squall did not catch on Renoa commenting that Squall does not care about other people's history. Okay. And then some little fun facts of Squall. Squall's student ID number is 41269. After Balam Garden becomes immobile when the party members are not assigned as player characters, they can be seen wander in the garden on their own. During the short time he is not in the party, during the scene the party is choosing the instruments to play at the FH concert, Squall can be found sleeping in his dorm. Squall's birthday is in August, the 8th month of the year, and appropriate for the 8th installment of the Final Fantasy main series. In the traditional sidereal zodiac, Squall's star sign would be Leo, possibly referring to the association of lions. However, in the traditional tropical zodiac, the date of his birth is one too late, making him a Virgo, though this depends on the year, as the last day of the Leo and the first day of Virgo tends to change. Squall's character design was inspired by the actor River Phoenix, whose birthday is also August 23rd.
Yeah, by the way, I looked up River Phoenix, and it looks exactly like Squall.
It's pretty crazy. It's like a blonde Squall.
Right, yeah, he is. And then Final Fantasy XII, a fake revolver gunblade, is one of Gilgamesh's weapons, is also a dummied weapon in the database and can be used by the player via hacking. Also, the Ross Algethi gun resembles a revolver, though it's a long-range weapon. And then Squall is dead is a notorious fan theory that points Squall dies at the Dealing City Parade and the rest of the game in his dream. Director Noshinori Katsatsu has denied the theory, saying, I think it was actually stabbed around the shoulder area, and so he was not dead. But this is also a very interesting idea, so would ever do a remake of Final Fantasy VIII, I might go along with that story in mind.
Oh, come on.
Please don't. Oh my god, apparently there's a website called Squall is Dead.
Yeah.
And in the opening training session between Cypher and Squall, we storyboarded and directed by Tatsuya Nomura, who came up with the concept. It's based on the Japanese tradition of morning practice for clubs. The scene was built up where it looks like a battle, but it turns out to be morning practice, and Squall and Cypher end up permanently scarring each other's faces. Consequently, dueling scars have been seen as a badge of honor since the early as 1825 and were popular among the upper class, artisans, and Germans involved in academic fencing at the late start of the 20th century. Being a practice among university students, it was seen as a mark of their class and as an early example of scarification in European society. We got a little bit of a history lesson now, too.
I mean, I guess it's kind of like Marines branding each other or whatever.
Yeah. And then we do have a little bit on his voice. So Squall was first voiced in Kingdom Hearts. In the Japanese version, he is voiced by Hito Ishikawa. He shares his Japanese voice actor with Auron, Kate Sith, and Qatar Bastar. In the English release of Kingdom Hearts, he is voiced by David Borizan.
Angel, yeah.
In Kingdom Hearts 2 onward, the City of Final Fantasy series, and World of Final Fantasy, he is voiced by Doug Erholtz.
Yeah, you can't get Bones to do more than one game.
Oh my god, from freaking Bones?
Yeah, Ben, they brought out the big guns for Kingdom Hearts. The voice actor.
I didn't know he was voiced by him. And I want to know who this Doug guy is. Oh, shoot. He's in a lot of stuff.
It says a lot about this group that I said Angel and y'all said Bones. That really
I'm
threw
sorry.
the line in the sand.
Bones was great. I loved Bones. Except the last couple seasons were not great.
Listen, I'm sure my wife knows him as Angel. I know him as Bones.
Wow. And then the Cordio. Oh, and then the voice actor for the English version from Kingdom Hearts 2 and on. He's in a lot of anime. Bleach.
A lot of like children's shows too.
Blue Exorcist, Digimon, Dragon Ball. The Toonami Asia version specifically as Whis. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, he's in a lot of stuff. Mobile Suit Gundam Iron Blooded Orphans, Mobile Suit Gundam The Origin. He's in Naruto. Oh, shoot, he's Asami Sabatori. Oh, shoot.
Wow.
Okay.
Well.
That's cool. That's awesome, actually.
Reeku, do you have any other parting thoughts for Squall?
Just one.
Okay.
I have the Graver tattooed on my forearm. That's all.
Oh,
That's all I got.
That's cool.
Okay.
That's cool. So, but
I
yeah.
appreciate the invite. That's all I got.
Oh, we're glad to have you. But with that, I have nothing else to add for this. Steven, do you have any final thoughts or anything on this stuff?
No, I've said my thoughts about it.
You've said your thoughts.
I've said my thoughts. We had to have Reeku on so we could have an expert on the topic because you and I are unfortunately under
a positive voice, if you will.
Yeah, a positive voice.
Yeah.
I
just don't know too much.
Could have gone a different way. I know.
Steven, on the other hand, would be a different story.
Oh, he's great. He's a great character. We needed Cloud and Squall because they are different than the other protagonists we've had.
True.
So it was a nice
True.
change of pace. Probably wouldn't have made them back to back if it was my decision, but I do think, yeah, He is a good character. I like how they give him the full arc where he's Mr. Tough
Hey,
Guy.
and he has a love interest and has a happy ever after.
And comes around to it. Yeah, at the end. He comes around.
There we go.
Floats out in space.
Compared to the previous protagonist, it was up in the air.
Well, the previous one had 2.
True, but by the end, he kind of was a loner still. Until we get to Aberrant Children.
Well, and even in Advent Children, he's still having to be told to quit dilly-dallying and shilly-shallying.
Well, that's true, too. He's more controlled rather than being in an actual relationship.
Yeah.
But anyway, with that being said, everybody, thank you again for listening to the Final Fantasy Lorecast, and may the crystals guide you. Thank you for listening to the Final Fantasy Lorecast. You can find us on the Robots Radio Discord at robotsradio.net, the Ben and Friends podcasting Discord, where you can share your thoughts, experiences, and love for the Final Fantasy lore. You can also find us on Twitter at FFLorecast.
I'm Glenn Washington, host of Snap Judgment, the award-winning storytelling podcast from KQED. Every week, Snap deals a new card, like the girl whose sister was a monkey, or the man who lived in the woods for 30 years, or even the woman who snuck her lover out of prison in a dog crate. Pick a card, any card. Tap to listen now to Snap Judgment from KQED on Spotify.